City Junction. River City, next station stop.
You're crazy with the heat. Credit's no good for a notion salesman.
Aboard, all aboard.
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. Your firm give credit? No, sir. Nor anybody else.
River City, next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods, cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the firkins.
Cash for the hogshead, casket, demijohn. Cash for the pickles and the crackers and the fly.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk. You can bigger, you can talk. You can bigger, bigger, bigger. You can talk, you can talk. You can talk, 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 talk. Bigger, bigger, bigger. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Well, it's a Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up and go 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's going to patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
The Model T it all to get gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bigger. You can talk, you can bigger. You can talk, 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 talk. Bigger, bigger, bigger. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Well, it's the you need a biscuit made the trouble. Now, you need to put the crackers in a package. Now, you need to put the crackers in an airtight sanitary package. Made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail pouch cup plugged John by the stove, changed the approach of a traveling salesman, and made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hogshead, casket, and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, picker barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub, and the pill, and the tears.
Ever met a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill?
Hill.
No!
Just a minute.
Never heard any salesman in hell.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
It's a fella's line.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete. Or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package on the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his
Or
line.
the doggone thing. It's just a bang beat, bell ring, a big haul, great go, neck or nothing, rip roaring, every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Tell us, what's his line?
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass. And the piccolo uniforms too, with the shiny gold braid on the coat and the big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there juice harp.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers, and he plucks and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? Piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? Piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, we're across the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in the state. Ford.
All right, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
Wow, you really know Harold Hill?
Never seen my life, but I know this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman rides immediately tarred and feathered and rode to the city limits on a red. You think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Your hair never goes back.
But why should he get right out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and instruction books and uniforms, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
Well?
And to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. And he can't tell the difference between a pipe organ and a bass drum. I'll catch up to him. When I do, I'll squeal on him so loud.
You sure are mad, Charlie. I'd like to be around and catch up with that fella.
Not on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill wouldn't try to sell them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here.
4.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
Tank town like this. You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Taffelmeyer. Boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
What's the new pitch? Oh, you're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher here who'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. How are you going to start the pitch?
Oh, Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. And then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember. Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Well, nothing. Except the billiard parlor's just put in a new pool table.
You mean they've never had a pool table here before?
Nope, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars, and don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Ah, you're Mr. Dunlop?
Yep.
Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. I sure am, billiard player, certainly mighty proud. Say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help cultivate a horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. You ever take and try and give an ironclad lead to yourself from a three-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-line game, I say that a boo can take and shove a ball in a pocket, and I call that sloth. First big step on the road to the depths of degradé. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle, and the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit, and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper Hugh tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch. Make your blood boil, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets on the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. All week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. Your young men will be frittering away. Time, summertime, short time, too. Get the ball on the pin. Never mind getting dandelions, pull it over the screen door patch of the beefsteak pound. Never mind pumping any water to your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night. That's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker shirt tail young. Peeking in the pool hall window after school, you got trouble. Folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Now I'm going to be perfectly frank. Would you like to know all this stuff? Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? Trying out Bevo, trying out cubebs, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're going to cover it with telltale breathless sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall and dance in the already libertine men in scarlet and ragtime, shameless music to bring your son and your daughter into the arms of a jungle, anal instinct mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
T that rhymes with P that stands for
That stands for
we
pool.
surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children gotta have trouble.
Others of River City. Heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son walks out the front door, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he memorizing jokes from Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. And so's your old man. Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City. With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls, a devil's tool. Yes, we got trouble. With a T, gotta rhyme with P, and that stands for pool. drop your...
No.
Didn't I meet you in the...
No.
I'll only be in town a short while and...
Good. Hello, Mama. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, Mom.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
I'd never seen him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So do-la-re-ti me a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as knives and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
Oh, what?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
The suitcase who made me your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards. If you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pat, and Noah Webster you've concocted for yourself out of your Irish imagination, your Iowa stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, that isn't the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have a
May
drink?
I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to walk into the house?
Hello.
That won't do at all. I'll have a kiss from my boy. Thank you. The lady over there's your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop!
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis invited you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis! He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of it.
Well, what's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him every night. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too, or else it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Oh, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never! I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I play?
May I play my crosshand piece?
You may.
Oh, yeah. See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know. For the time being, just say, good night, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining, it's bright. Shin for leading the singing, and to J.C. Squires for his fine stereo Wachtkin slides, and to Ethel Tuffelmeyer, our fine piano player. As Mayor of River City, I welcome you, River citizens, to the 4th of July exercises set up here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 4
Excuse me, Mayor.
The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present the patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Wa-Tan-Yi girls from the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, my wife. A spectacle in which, my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part.
Wa-Tan-Yi! 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 I will now count to 20 in the Indian tongue. In-teen, t'other feather fit. Shut! George, you shut me!
Who set off that cracker?
I know who did it. Tommy Gillis did it.
Yes, it was Tommy Gillis.
Tommy Gillis.
I wouldn't leave if I was you.
Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who's a disgrace to our city. 407 years ago, the Payne's fireworks spectacle last days of Pompeii will take place providing the rain stops by 8:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park in the Fair Meadow, past the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Ewart. That's what we prepared for a storm.
Oh, the Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business, being accurate most of the time.
Now let's have order here. Order.
Number 8's late again, I see.
I make her early.
She's definitely late.
She's right on time. What's the matter with your
There's
watch?
nothing the matter with my watch.
Please stop bickering in public.
Oh, how in the world I
It
said
doesn't matter. 4
We heard there's a pool table in town.
Now, just a minute here.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises till we get the pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys Band. Brrr. Oh, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra, 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 da, da, ra, ra. Remember, my friends, what a ham-bone turf players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, big parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Band, oh, my friends, oh, yes, we have boys band, you hear me. River City's gotta have her boys band, and she needs it right today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's gonna have her boys band. As sure as the Lord made little gravels, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals. You'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets, ta-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom timpani and horse bassoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double-bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score.
All the kids began to march, and their marching still rings today.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough. And he's got a gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Now, Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Gee, Professor, that's for the, little kids.
I'm not talking about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Really had it a couple of times.
You did? You're my man. Do you realize nobody has ever invented a marching holder for a piccolo player? No place to hang the music.
Gee, Clyde! Wonder where I could get some wire.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy.
Yes?
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break the game. Oh, young lady. Oh, miss. What's your name?
Zanita, I didn't have any idea he was beckoning to me. He gods.
Do you know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
Only expecting I ain't going home. I have to go to the library.
Well, then escort the young lady home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Ye gods.
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. You made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and that new pool table.
Oh. Well, what was my other mistake?
That's Nita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Excuse me, Professor, but we need your credentials. We're the school board.
My academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
Letters and papers.
Make him put up a bind.
What am I hearing, gentlemen? Gentlemen. Say... Ice cream.
Ice cream. But I don't sing, young man. That's what you're at.
All right. Talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
See? Singing is only sustained talking. Now you, right here.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those young men without the other four.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify. Tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I've got some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you'd like to.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor? Of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying young women on the street like a Friday night rowdy in a public dance hall?
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you permission to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory.
Marcellus! Don't call me Greg.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did. Boy, did you cut a swat tonight. For a minute, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fella back in Joplin.
Yeah. Oh, kid stuff. I'm in rare forms these days, son. Just you keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does. But it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary method called the think system, where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people are going to want to hear music. You'll have to lead a band.
Oh, but when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand and the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Gonna line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well...
Say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How could ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer, I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting all the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Up, I flinch, I shy. When the lass with a delicate air walks by, I smile, I grin. When the gal with the touch of sin walks in, I hope, I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
And of course, you know Eulalie McKechnie-Shin, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Of course. But you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance and... No, wait. Wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot. The way you raised it just now.
I have a bunion there that falters.
Oh, what grace. What natural flow of rhythm. What expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill.
Will you accept the chairmanship on the ladies' auxiliary for the classic dance? Will you? Mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make bespeaks Del Sarte. Will you? Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
Eulalie McKechnie Shin. Dancing? Well.
Will you? Will you say yes?
Yes, indeed. Oh! And I would like to say.
Thank you. And of course, the lady who plays the piano. Marion Prue, I believe.
Oh!
After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk, chip, 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 chip.
Professor, her kind of woman doesn't belong on any committee. Of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books?
Chaucer! Rabelais! Balzac! Chip, 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 chip. And the worst thing, of course, I shouldn't tell you this. I'll tell. The man lives on my street. Let me tell. Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium. Madison Picnic Park. Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who do you think he was, anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library, too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her. She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes, that woman made brazen overtures. With a gilded guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye, a silver voice, and a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel. Here, or give it a park. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer, Rabelais,
Balzac.
Now, just a minute, Professor. Now, we need your credentials.
Yes, I have just what you want over in my hotel room. Come with me. Good night, ladies.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you.
It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young. Anyone could make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I will only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
But what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Shh, quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look.
Marion.
Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big lassie with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade had to whisper the news to Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Mary, if I stumble and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor and notice till my body had turned to clear. Madam Librarian. Down the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling heard the song. Helping home. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I could never win. For the civilized world accepts its unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Mary. Madam Librarian. City's dance committee meets Tuesday nights. Marshmallow? Madam Librarian. Well, you've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. You better go home and get some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself.
Bye, Professor.
See you later, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? Why, you haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mayor Shin. I collect doorbells. That particular specimen over there has an unusual tone quality.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this country. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down City Hall with your references?
Just missed you, Oh, no. Mr. Mayor.
What? What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? It means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Well, how can I get one of these horns?
Sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. Just think, I could have mixed this whole thing. 1 minute here. Wait, I haven't got a son! You want flippulous flugite and you want scripulent? You'll be down City Hall with your bygone papers at 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I'm not sure I understand you entirely, Professor.
Your son has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever be really great, you understand. But...
Oh, and in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, all the really great cornet players were Irish. Oh, Klein, oh, Mendez, oh, Clark.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
No. No, really. That clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Peru. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine, fine. That'll be $7 import money. Nothing more due until the first installment payable at the opening band practice. Thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Hello, son. Certainly, his uniform, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy. to anticipate, to imagine, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Would it have
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. You see, we can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. But if you can get him to play in that band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. And if anybody could do it, I'll bet you could. Out of the crowd, I'd pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, Tara's Hall minstrel singing, Maverdine-bitching, harp-playing Irishman, begotten pajamas. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it, Gary. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Gold medal class of '05. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. The name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band. We're not interested, Mama. But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Oh, your husband musical. Well, I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm sure we
Do
could...
you burst into everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested. Marion.
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason your brother should have something like this.
My brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Well, Miss Prue, I hardly ever... I think she likes the idea. A little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes, you see. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crotch 14.
Fine. That's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's really not...
Oh, please. Don't worry about a thing. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone? He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future? Getty, Indiana, conservation class of '05. Really, darling? Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing, traveling man who comes into town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me. All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle. If you keep the steel in one drawer and the flint in the other, you'll never strike much of a fire. Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb for the book I set aside. The Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a brown book. Do I have to? You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear. Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night? I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims. Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along? Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Grainer, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library. He does? Or Ed Gammage and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how
invention.
What invention?
My musicoder for marching piccolo player. See, it still has a couple minor flaws. See, we keep it tight enough to hold the music straight. You cut off the circulation, and you can't wiggle your fingers. And meanwhile, you could go blind. Tommy, it's Papa.
Is that the very first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, morning of July 4th, 19th, and 12th. And now, look, my wife was off dancing at any and all hours of the night instead of tending to the home.
But, George...
The school board is singing up and down the street instead of tending to business matters. My oldest girl is boodling around with some wild kid, and my business is going up so far I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting about the Professor Hill's alma mater in this book.
His who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
If you'll just listen, and you can read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look any further. It's on page 100.
The Wells Fargo wagon's coming up from the depot.
The Wells Fargo wagon!
I like these stories. At this hour of the day, nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instruments.
The band instruments.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
In March I got a gray Mackinac.
And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa. Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a crosscut saw.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. A free bits and fries or COD.
It could be curtains or dishes or a tub of water.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for. And I expect a new rocking chair.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
And a candy for the courthouse fair.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I can ever wait to see. It could be something for someone who is no musician, or it could be something special just for me.
Don't you dare to make a stop until you stop for
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet. Gee, thanks, Professor.
Kids, you will each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet and G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
la-di-da, la-di-da.
Oh, sister, sister! It's the most scrumptious sonical thing you ever saw. I never thought I'd see anything as scrumptious as this scrumptious sonical thing. Oh, sister!
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God good tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you over the county seat in front of the grand jury. Now, Miss Mary, about the book.
Come, George, Tempest Fugits.
You watch your phraseology. Go on if you want to. I have to get something from the library. The book. ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
again. Always keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Dunlop.
It's you in the sunrise, it's you in my club.
It's you all the way into town.
It's your sweet hello dear that sets me up. And it's your got to go dear that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be saner, or truer, or plainer than it's you? It's you.
Smile, girls, smile.
Yes, it's you.
Oh, yes, it's you.
Please, kid, Miss Jen will have my head.
Mr. Washburn, we're entitled to 5 more minutes.
If you think you can hold these kids back, you go ahead.
Strike out, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new steps Professor Hill taught us.
What'll it be?
The shapoopy.
Now, a woman who'll kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy. Then a woman who'll kiss on the second time out, anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time round, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shapoopy, 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 shapoopy. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. Walk her once just to raise the curtain, then you walk around twice just to make certain. Once more for her, she never gets sore on her way to supper. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking, if you give squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more and forever up, she'll never get sore on her way to supper. The little old Sal was a no gal that anyone could see. Look at her now, she's a go gal who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking, get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more from that rubber, she'll never get sore on her way to supper. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. The girl is hard to get. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
like to be in as public building as anybody.
Right. How do you have any right around here? Swindling and betting the activities of this simple salesman. You know what I see written all over you? Reform school! Now get out of here, you wild kid!
Papa, it's capitalists like you that make blood in the marketplace. Ye gods!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Now go home. You Lily!
But George,
You tend to your dance.
My dance.
I'll take up with Sunita hanging around with wild kids from the wrong part of town.
Mayor Shin, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And thanks for nothing. I read that whole book from front to back and found absolutely nothing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest girl. Yes.
All right. But in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
Concert. The time your band plays its first concert to kids who have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their own beards. Let me tell you something, my fine feathered young, Never mind! Oliver, JC, Ort, Owen, Doc. Get that man's credentials and get him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slippier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials, right?
I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was button hook in well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved atrociously, and I think it was wonderful the way you came to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. A man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man... Only 500? Unfortunately, of course, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of the billiard parlor. Now he'll... I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority like yourself would help. But I couldn't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill.
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I were more informed. You see, I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet? Mother of pearl keys.
Yes, I'm sure it's fine. It's just that he never touches it. The first week or so, he made a few experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes. Yes, blats.
And he sings the minuet in G almost constantly.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Yes, but you see, he never touches the cornet.
Well, you
He told me you said it wasn't necessary.
Well,
He tells me of some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor,
Now,
you...
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Rue, we just want to tell you that you're kind of a mean on the outside committee. You were so dear tonight dancing Shrewsbury with Professor Hill. You danced like a fairy princess with a moonbeam through your floor. You had a golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of glorious gold here, where a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moving floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now unfold, heart of gold, here where a woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all.
Excuse me, Professor, but we got our orders.
We all been deputized.
Yes, congratulations. Let's see now. You know, all this week, I've been trying to give you fellows my references and credentials, but every time we seem to get off subject somehow. Now, I have just what you want up in my hotel room. Take me a second.
Sorry, Fred, I'll have to go with you.
Yes. Well, let's see if I have the key. What's this? Oh, a testimonial from Madame Rini, the only female bassoon player to ever appear on the Red Pass circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lyda Rose Quackenbush.
Could I see that a minute, please?
Oh, you'll never forget the name. Lyda Rose. Same as the old song. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion I'll pop the question. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lyda Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lyda Rose, oh, won't you be my Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose.
Dream of now, dream of then, dream of all love song that might have been. Do I love you? Oh yes, I love you, and I'll bravely tell you, but only when we dream again. Sweet and low, sweet and low, how sweet that memory, how long ago, forever, oh yes, forever, will I ever tell you, oh no.
Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home
Oh yes, I love you, and I'll bravely tell you, but only when we dream again. Sweet and low, sweet and low, how sweet that memory, oh yes, forever. Will I ever tell Will you ever stop arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you
alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you
Tell
feel...
him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a ladylike hint.
Mama!
Winter, where have you been?
Fishing? Fishing? Mm-hmm. And look, I still have the worms left.
Did you have a good time?
Scrumptious. And he told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song that has hardly any essence in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me well. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have been done this elegant opinion, I would say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, York, yeah, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have been done this elegant opinion, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, York, but Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I'll be right back. I have to steal Amaryllis, my life frog. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Leave the dishes, Mama. I'll do them.
Don't you have to change for the sociable?
There's time later.
Shins live around here somewhere?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Ah, criminy. See, you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fellow Hill from the boys' band here.
Yes?
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling 2-bit Thimber, that's why I gotta see shit. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water break. Wish you was 20, would sure like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cow, animal salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindle.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my Ollie's corset cover. That guy's from the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see through him? He's no more professor than...
Oh, I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his
Wait a
scholastic...
minute, fine director. Have you heard one-note music out of any band?
Well, no, but I'm sure...
Well, nothing, girly girl. He never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
Just listen to me for a minute, I'm sure.
I'd like to do more than that if I had the time. I sure got the inclination, but I gotta get on that train. I gotta leave word with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time, through.
You'll never catch the train at the depot. You'll have to get at the crossing.
No, sir. I gotta leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No. I mean, I don't know you.
Yes, I need more time anyway.
I mean as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Animals have a limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? I miss that train, I'll lose my job. And I gotta leave word about the fellow Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on my tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train, now run for it.
Why, you double-D little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois. He's taken away from everyone. That's 102 counties. Not to mention the county teachers he goes up to keep their mouth shut. The ears are the last feet, girly girl.
I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding. At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question.
the top of the evening, Miss Marion.
You and Marion come up and set. I got some jelly on the stove. There's no jelly on the stove, Mom. Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? Oh, I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The think system. Now, I've been by your house to try and explain it to you a time or two this week. But there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and some of the ladies.
I'm glad. Wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, it's evidently not the convenient night. See you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you had 100? But what I'm trying to say is,
Yes?
is it really true that you've developed a think system?
What? A think system. Oh, think system. Yes. It's really very simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You only have to think of the tune for it to come clearly out here. Now just try this yourself before you ask any questions.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Have all music teachers been as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
Well, I dare say you meet dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
Some more, some less. One young lady had thought of the same system before I even got to her town. Showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Oh, please don't let me keep you. I'm sure you have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
I can't think of what.
Well, I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One does hear rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty?
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so Mama Winthrop and I could have some security. Surely you don't believe
Of course not. That's exactly what I'm saying. But why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness? Jealousy? Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, well, nothing about you personally, just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Just that, but of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, well, I mean, take you, for instance, your attentions to customers and, well, teachers, well, they might be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, no, honestly, mightn't they?
Why, they...
And so you say if another salesman or someone were to get jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
And so it just proves that you shouldn't believe everything you hear. I mean, if we discuss things
Now,
like...
Miss Marion, I'd be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But could we do it sitting down? You do sit, your knees bend and all.
I guess we could sit on the porch step.
We could also sit on a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
Oh, no, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge before with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I have to dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
No, I couldn't. Maybe some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian. Pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've only collected a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes?
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
God be in the saints be praised! It works! What does? I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Greg.
The uniforms have arrived. The kids are in them already. People are going to be screaming for music if those kids show up at the sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's trying to keep the kids together at least, pretending to hold a practice over at the lumber yard.
All right. Go get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle world around here, get yourself caught in a bunny trap. You go ahead.
Don't worry, Mars. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
I meant that you were about, well, I'd say about 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with the fellow.
Well, if you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly while not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marion, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything?
No, you've given me something, and that's why I decided to come.
I don't recall
Yes,
giving.
you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came. And I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason not to be grateful for what you have left behind for me.
But Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Marion,
There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was
Hey, Greg. Excuse me. I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
You nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I had to keep her all balanced, didn't I? I told you.
Well, she's so far off balance now you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown, I've come up through the ranks in this skirmish. I'm not resigning without my commission.
But you can't get anywhere right out here on this footbridge.
There's an old ladies' home over at the Madison Picnic Park that makes this place look like the old ladies' home. Well, now beat it. Go get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, we really don't need to get into that just now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt like doing much research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh? About what?
About Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory, class of '05. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in '05.
Why, there certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built until '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
But if you knew, when did you find out?
July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... While 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I caught up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going all over town.
I'll
spilling
say
everything. Crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job. But I got you now, Hill, and you pay. You be in the clink right now, hadn't been for that piano teacher. I told her all about you. What'd she do? Lily gags me around till I couldn't get to shit. Dried up, man hungry. Doxy feel his.
Get out of here, I'll kill you, dirty
You
mouth.
boy, you big blow up. I'll stay in town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why, you never even knew the territory.
Here's your stuff, Greg. The rig's in the alley. Come on.
Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Now go, please.
Greg, he isn't anywhere around here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Now wait a minute here, son.
Now you're done. Leave me go.
Not until I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You wouldn't tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
I would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big liar!
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, and you're gonna stand here and get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band. So you'd quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, actually, the other thing isn't any of your business now that I think of it.
I wish you'd never come to River City!
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us...
I know what he promised us. And it all came true, just like he said. The lights and the flags and the colors and symbols.
Where was all that?
In the way every kid walked around here all summer and looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he never came to River City?
But you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
Can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
The first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you. Come on, Greg. They're here. That way, that way.
Come on, Professor. That way, that way.
Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured, the snake in our bosom has been misapprehended this time. Yes, and always remember, fellow river citizens, I've done everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from, happening. 4 score.
Well, what have you done to get our money back?
That professor collected nearly $300 for uniforms just tonight.
And I haven't even seen them uniforms yet.
He's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any uniforms or my boy since just after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
4 score and 7 years ago. Our 1 minute here, virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Haroldhill. And of those who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Irish stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember what River City was like before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here, lady. If there's one person here that thinks Hill should not be tarred and feathers, please step forward. You Violet, step back. And the rest of them, standing there like a crop of sheep. Do you remember how you bought high-priced band instruments and uniforms? Have you forgotten your high-tech instruction books? Have you forgotten the clear warranty that your
Think. Kids, think.